Hello, Brian here from RLF Vacuum Cleaners in Lakenheath, and in today's video is probably going to be the first and probably the last episode of Mailbag Monday. I've just had a big load of mail turn up and I'm going to open it up and we're going to discuss my purchases. So to start off with, I'll grab the knife. The knife I'll be using today will be a Jegs one. These are pretty nifty knives. These were actually on special offer a couple of years ago. They just use normal standing knife blades, and then they lock like so. So I'll grab this one here because it's at the front. What I've done is I've moved everything out of the way, and I'll grab this first one. Might not even need the knife for this one. Now coming up open nice. Open quite nicely. What we got in here? We have a load of SMD chip test clip meter probe multimeter tweezer resistance, or in other words, SMD tweezers for testing on your multimeter. So you plug this into your multimeter. Got a couple of sets of these which I use for SMD work, testing LED polarity and resistances and capacitance and things like that. So I've ordered a couple more of them. A couple of little jobs I'm working on. I've got a couple of little project ventures I got working away. And again, these aren't that expensive, so you might as well just have a set wherever you're going to be working. I need a 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. And if I can make them come up on the screen, I'll tell you how much they were. So I'll put them to one side. Yeah. The next one we've got over here. Okay, and I'll just tip this one out. Ooh. Double packaging. Aha! You have loads of TP4056 charge control boards. Don't know how that's going to come on the camera. Again, when I ordered these, I was expecting like one of these big massive blocks to turn up. I see they just sent blocks of 10. I ordered 200 of them, so there should be 20 packs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yes, we got 200 of these. I ordered these for a particular project I'm working on. I may or may not do a video. It's actually cheaper to buy them set up for 1 amp charge current. So I'm actually going to change quite a few of these resistors and run them at a lower current, probably 100 to 200 milliamps. But again, that'll be another video. So yeah, we've got all these charge control boards for lithium ion batteries. Got a couple of projects I'm working on, probably going to use 30 or 40, so ordered 200 of them just in case. So move them to one side, I'll move on to the next. And the next thing is this nice small one here. Gently score that like so and open it up. Open it up, we've got a load of A2 SHP MOSFETs, 50 of them on a reel. I'm probably going to make another video about these particular type of MOSFETs. These are very interesting MOSFETs, and I'm going to solder these up into a project and use them. So So I won't talk about them too much here. But yeah, we've got 50 A2 SHB MOSFETs, like so. So we'll put that back and we'll grab another one. We'll grab this one here, like so. Score that open like so. What we got in here? Oh, got some more circuit boards. And here we have some, I believe these are LM2596 back converters. Take 30 volts in, just a little potentiometer, get different voltage out. Again, ordered these for a project I'm working on. It says on the back here, LM2596 DC to DC buck converter. You take 30 volts in and they can output, I believe they can go down to about 3.3 volts. But again, I want these to run about 9-10 volts, so I could take in any universal voltage in, probably a 24 volt system, and output around sort of 9-10 volts. It's going to be using these. How many of these we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 of them. And if I can make them pop up on the screen, I will. And we'll grab another one. Got this one here. Open that one up like so. What we got here? Ooh, we got another one inside. Here we have some 5252F solar garden light IC chips or IC components. Looks like we've got quite a few in there, probably say I know 40 or 50 or so. These are used for some of my smaller garden light projects and repairs. What these basically are linked to a video somewhere here about these 5252F chips. There's lots of these solar garden lighting chips. I'm a particular fan of the 5252F because I've designed quite a lot of boards around them and they have a nice logical layout. They're pretty good. They're not the best chips out there, I will admit, but they're pretty good and they're very reasonably priced. So I've got some more of them, but obviously I'm starting to run a bit low on them. So I'll put them to one side and we'll sort all this out in a minute. And here we've got a nice small one here. Not quite sure what's in here. I'll open that up. So what we got here? Here we've got some of these in a previous video when I was talking about the STC 1000 temperature controllers. I was talking about the, was it the LP2155? What it is, it's a AC to DC voltage converter. I actually bought a selection of these. And the one particular device took in mains voltage, outputted 5 volts. I believe, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up. It's not really going to pick it up, is it? I believe these ones are probably the 12 volt ones. You can buy 12 volt versions of them as well. They take in mains voltage and they output an unisolated 12 volt DC supply. So I've bought some of them for a project. Again, this is purely experimental along with their MOSFETs. This is purely experimental electronics for possibly some work I have in the future. Again, I'll bring up the technical details on the screen here. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Unfortunately, the camera died just as I opened this one up, so I'm going to go back to the beginning on this one. This here is a big selection of switches, panel switches and beeper illuminating things and switches. All sorts of control switches and lamps and all sorts of stuff. We'll go through them one by one. So we've got some green indicators. What are these? 24. Yeah, these are 24 volt panel light lamps. And we've got these ones here, which are, I believe these ones are lamps and with a beeper. Again, running on 24 volts. Got some more panel lamps in red, panel lamp in blue, some clear ones, panel indicators. Here we got some panel voltmeters. Don't know how that comes up on the camera. We've got a little voltage display on there. Yellow panel indicator. We've got a couple of these three-way toggle switches. Unfortunately, some of them have been a bit damaged. Yes, you have your three-way panel switches, and this one, yeah, in the middle nothing happens. To the right it switches the contact on the, I'll switch it to the left, contact on the left, contact to the right. So we've got these three-way panel switches. Got another one here. This one's purely just on and off. Got a couple of packs, or big pack of auxiliary contacts. I believe, yeah, does that come up on here? You've got the red ones, which are normally closed. When you push, they open. And then we've got a pack of normally open, push to close. Got a big block of them. With all these switches, they have these, they're all stackable, so you can stack many switches on. The problem with these stackable switches is you can only get maybe 2, maybe 3 switches on there before their buttons come hard and uncomfortable to press. So yeah, so we've got a pack of auxiliary switches, more push buttons, more lamps, more push buttons, another toggle, push buttons, and lots of toggles, slidey switchy toggle ones, more push buttons, more push buttons, more push buttons, and then we've got some mushroom switches, or emergency, not really emergency stops, are they? Because emergency stops or e-stops tend to have the push, and then you have to twist them to unlock them. This one's purely just a push, and you can push it to undo it again. What have we got here? Another different type of panel voltmeter. More push buttons in panel indicators. Ooh, some interesting ones. This here is a key switch. So it's a switch, but you need a key to activate it. Key is in there. Got another one of them key switches, mushroom switch. Ooh. Key for that one's fell out. That one, and the bag split. So we'll put that in there. I'm guessing it's just some sort of generic key. Key switches, or key switch. And again, this one just has a normally closed and normally open contact on it. Mushroom switch, another push button, another voltmeter, some more push buttons. The reason why I got all this is because when I was trawling through the internet, there was a seller selling these big bundles of switches and lamps and stuff like that. And I can't remember how much they were, because it was a little while ago, but it was like all this for like, I think it was like 35 or 40 pounds. I think it was like ridiculously cheap for what you get, because there's got to be at least, well, 40-50 switches in there, switches and lamps, so it works out about £1 each, which is very good. Again, I'm going to be working on a few control projects, and instead of buying, you know, the fancy Schneider or top brand stuff where you're paying sort of like £10-15 for a lamp, I'd have a play around with this cheaper stuff, get the hang of it, building a little control system, you know, switches and lamps and all this fancy stuff. Probably went a bit overboard with key switches, already on the key switch. I got them anyway. Auxiliary blocks, you know, this is all useful stuff that come in handy. I don't know how good this stuff is. What's the rating on it? It's rated A rated 660 volt 10 amp. No idea if they can actually do that or not, but again, on a 24 volt control system, which is why I went for the 24 volt option with the 24 volt lamps. Realistically, you're not going to be pulling 10 amps, probably going to pull a couple amps at the worst. So yeah, I don't know whether I mentioned it in the previous video or not, but I bought a big box of relays and contactors and safety relays and all sorts of weird and wonderful control stuff. So we're going to mash all this together and make some interesting contraptions. So yeah, this is all it's going to be for Mailbag Monday. I'm going to tidy this stuff all up, sort it all out, and hopefully I can make bits come up on the screen of where I bought them from and how much they were. And if I don't, I'll put on the screen what it costs and where I got it from, instead of putting up the actual picture of the listing, whatever. So yeah, this is probably going to be the first and last episode of Mailbag Monday, because I don't actually buy that much stuff really, like this sort of interesting stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.